My name is Aaron George, and today I'm going to speak to you all about rehabilitation. And I'm not just going to speak about rehabilitation, but I'm going to also present some possible solutions that my company and I have developed. So, rehabilitation for persons with disabilities is really important. You know, we tend to take a lot of things for granted. We take for granted that someone has acquired or is born with a disability and they are able to do what we consider the bare minimum. And yes, I say we because I also take things for granted because of my personal experiences. And because of that, my perspective is one that, you know, filters through, I would say, ample support. So there are times where someone else who may not have had the type of support that I have, they may not be able to accomplish a particular task or gain a particular skill because they don't have the pre-existing infrastructure. So we all take things for granted. Rehabilitation, I think, should approach things or approach persons from the perspective of, let me find out where you are and where I can take you or how I can help you to gain advantage in whatever situation it may be. So, for example, something as simple as filling out a form, someone may look at that and say, well, this is a wonderful opportunity being provided because all someone has to do is fill out a form. But for someone who has difficulty filling out that form, it makes that opportunity extremely difficult to acquire. It may even be a barrier to someone gaining the benefit of that opportunity. And it can be formed or prohibitive based on something as simple as a form. If I go onto a website that is offering a grant or some other sort of opportunity, if I can't fill that form out, that amazing opportunity that is probably geared toward me becomes unattainable. And I think these are the little things that, when rehabilitation systems are put in place and they are done right, they address. Accessibility is something that, we do sometimes, and other times it's tacked on after the fact, other times it's not even addressed. But if we have a society that pays closer attention to the needs of the individual, we would find that the rehabilitation services that we offer or can offer become much more effective. Rehabilitation, I think, is not only towards someone, but it is also self-reflective. Obviously, we would have to have some sort of empathy for the person receiving the rehabilitation, or at least we must be able to put ourselves in the position of someone who might need rehabilitative services in whatever direction or for whatever cause. I think in the grand scheme of things, when we think about rehabilitation, we must come unassumingly. That way we can really address and assist the persons who we intend to rehabilitate. When someone acquires or is born with some sort of disability, there are already so many barriers ahead of them. And I think that mismanagement of that process of rehabilitation can cause great damage. And then it takes even more time to undo the damage that has been created. I think counseling also is really important. And having the right counselor is really important. When it is we think about a counselor, it must be someone relatable. The process must be comfortable or comforting. I think that the person must have some knowledge of the person that they are counseling, or at least their circumstance, so that they would be able to identify with and speak to real situations that the person may have gone through, may be going through, or may go through in the future. And I think this is a really wonderful space where persons who have disabilities may be able to assist if they are properly rehabilitated themselves and trained. So, an implementation example of this would be where someone has a visual impairment and they counsel someone who is younger than them or someone who would have acquired a visual impairment similar to theirs. This would mean that the person can speak from actual real life experience, and there is a level of trust of the experience. You can't totally empathize or totally identify with someone else's situation unless you have gone through something similar or the same. And I think we have a wonderful opportunity to leverage the experience of persons or the experiences of persons to assist others. And in that way, we are able to now participate in both situations simultaneously. I was rehabilitated so that now I can function. And the function that I provide is assisting in counseling and rehabilitating someone else. One of the mechanisms we have come up with is called Audio Advantage. Audio Advantage is a course that we have put together that takes persons with disabilities and places them in an environment with persons who don't have visible disabilities. And we all work together toward doing amazing audio projects, whether it be sound design, audio production, music making, Foley recording, field recording, and these things have wide application in numerous industries, from gaming to education to just therapy. And we are part of the rehabilitative process because a person who has become visually impaired or has acquired some other form of disability, they may think that their life is over. They may think that there is no success left for them. They may think that they are going to be a burden. And these are huge and real issues that persons with disabilities face. And what we have, I would say, birthed in Audio Advantage is an opportunity for persons to be able to provide for their families, to be able to flourish and function in a thriving industry, to be able to do something really unique, something really innovative and different. And it spans a wide array of disciplines, from technology to, I would say, entertainment and everything in between. With Audio Advantage, it takes a person from knowing very little about computers and audio technology to being someone able to function and compete at the highest levels. One of the most recent projects that I would have worked on was called the Caribbean Audio Universe. It's where we use sonification to illustrate through audio data. In this case, we would have used astronomical data. And what we were able to accomplish was converting the audio universe top of the solar system that was provided by the University of Newcastle, and we would have been able to take it and turn it into a Caribbean audio universe where we use, instead of European instruments, we use Caribbean instruments. And all of the skills that were necessary to deploy and execute this project are taught in Audio Advantage. And this was a multinational, multi-institutional project that I played a key role in. And that is because I was properly rehabilitated. I think also teaching persons where to go for rehabilitation is important, because there are places that you go and it is not fruitful. And there are other places that you go, other persons that you interact with that bear much fruit. So I think it's really important to have that preparation process where someone is invited to know what to look for in a rehabilitative process, and not just go wherever the wind blows. If it is you see someone saying rehabilitation, you just automatically go there. No. There must be a filtration process so that a person really leverages and utilizes the effective rehabilitative processes that exist. I think in terms of counseling, it's really important for us to know who we are interacting with and who is interacting with us. I think when you have a more personal relationship, or at least personal perception of the person who is counseling you, you are more able to interact and engage with them, because you feel like that the person is someone that you can speak to, they understand what you are going through, or at least they are willing to understand what you are going through. At Audio Advantage, we intend on ensuring that persons who have disabilities or persons with disabilities, they are able to not only bring themselves to the conversation, but command the respect of others in the conversation. I think counseling helps with confidence to do these things. So we would definitely benefit from proper counseling mechanisms being put in place so that our students are able to fully utilize what they learn at Audio Advantage. My name is Aaron George, and I would like to thank you for listening. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the proceedings, and to get in contact with me and my company, you can go to www.innersanctumentertainment.com, or you can reach out to us at info@innersanctumentertainment.com. Thank you.